Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net. Thanks again for watching. It is Friday the 16th of August, and as always the site's kept free of charge by the adverts that you see around the screen, so by you coming back and using the site and using the adverts is what keeps us free of charge, so thanks for doing that. Now of course, being a Friday, that means it's our regular look ahead at the longer range outlook, and we've got the latest charts in at the moment from the CFS and from the Japanese model too. So here's the week 1 forecast then from the Japanese model. This is taking us forward to the 23rd of August, and this is the height anomaly chart for the next week. You notice here, look, higher than normal heights down to the south of the country, lower than normal towards the north, and what this does is it strengthens the jet stream across Scotland and across northern parts of England, across Ireland, which of course is exactly what's happening. We've got the ridge of high pressure that's building its way northwards from the south during the course of the coming week. It's that's going to be settling the weather down as we head into next week and bringing a return to the fine conditions for most. However, the big question mark is over the showers across Scotland. That's basically what this chart's telling us. So it's a good starting point for the long range. So what about week 2? Well, this is the forecast that then takes us up to the 30th of August. And what this one does is it builds the height significantly up towards the north of the UK, so tending to put high pressure in here, and we lose the strength of the jet coming across the Atlantic, although there's still evidence of it being there, but generally the jet is strongest across the States and just here in the western Atlantic. Essentially what this would do is bring dry conditions to us, and also the winds tending to come from an east or southeasterly direction, so we'd see more cloud on the eastern coast through this week, best of the sunshine out towards the west, and generally dry conditions for most, although I think we've got to look for the risk of some thunderstorms just moving on to southern coasts at times. So Japanese certainly agreeing with the idea of a better end to the month. And then into weeks 3 and weeks 4, which are going to take us through to the 12th of September. So remember, this is the mean of the heights over the next couple of weeks. It's the anomalies of the heights over the next couple of weeks for that start of September. You notice there the yellow colours indicating that we've got around normal heights, but lower than all out here in the Atlantic. That's probably going to put a trough in here with a more normal westerly flow through the British Isles. So I think what we are going to have to say is that probably still the emphasis, according to the Japanese, is on not too wet conditions, but probably fairly changeable with outbreaks of rain at times, and that's basically what we're seeing from the other charts. And they're saying that it's essentially going to be more northern and western areas that see most of the rain, less so towards the east and the south, and I can go along with that, although I do have to say I think probably becoming a little bit more unsettled than this. I think what we'll tend to find is the first 3 or 4 days of September being settled with high pressure still in and dry conditions, but then that following period, which is the next 8 days on this chart, then I think that's where we see the fall in heights and we see conditions becoming more unsettled. And that's an idea backed up by the CFS. This is the chart for week 1 from the CFS, and notice the above normal heights to the south, below normal up towards the north look same as the Japanese model, with a strong jet stream blowing its way in from the Atlantic, but it's this high building northwards during the course of the week that we're interested in. Then we get into week 2, and this takes us from the 23rd of August through to the 29th on the Japanese. And look, there's the high pressure area, on the CFS, there's the high pressure area, this time centred closer to the UK. It brings in more of a south-to-southeasterly flow, deep trough out here in the Atlantic, and there's the ridge, the flow doing something like that across the ridge. So dry conditions taking us through to the end of the month, and warmer conditions too, although I do think this trough is that sign of the risk of some thunderstorms just trying to nudge their way into more southern counties of England at times right at the very end of the month. Now into week 3, the CFS still trying to keep those higher than normal heights there. Look, this is the chart from the 30th of August through to the 5th of September. It's the height anomalies again, and remember what I said about the high being in right at the beginning of this period? It's still showing on there here, look, and I think that's probably what we'll see. So we've got this fine start to September for a few days, but then look, this is the chart from the 6th till the 12th. It's not desperately unsettled, so similar to the Japanese, it's not breaking into really wet conditions, but what it does is it puts the high, builds the high back up towards the north here, brings more of an east to northeasterly flow to more northern areas, and lower pressure out here in the Atlantic. And I think what that would probably do is put us a trough like so, with the ridge doing that. And what that would do is bring outbreaks of rain into more southern areas, breaking their way northwards. Now, I actually think that probably what we'll see is more of a westerly than this is shown, but I think what we have to take from these charts is this continuing idea that we break down in September from about the 3rd or the 4th onwards. And what about further ahead? Well, just a quick look at the Japanese, which has just been released. I'll do a proper video on this for you, but this is the whole of September. This is the sea level pressure means, and the yellower colours there indicating higher than normal pressure here towards the northeast of the country, lower than normal down towards the south. And it tends to suggest to me, I wonder if we will try and get the jet stream stronger across more central and southern parts of the country through September. That's the way September's always looked at being a fairly unsettled month. I need to do some more analysis on this, but that's still where I think we're going to go. Thoughts have always been for October that we'd find higher pressure than normal, probably close to or over the country. And this is the chart from the Japanese for then. And I think what this is trying to hint to us is that we probably get a ridge or something out here in the Atlantic, going more into a northerly through the UK. And I think that is showing us that we will get drier than normal conditions with that higher than normal pressure, although always lower than normal out towards the east, hence the reason for us talking about most of the rain towards the northern and eastern areas, but many areas becoming dry. I actually think what could happen through October is that we start off the month very warm and dry, go into a more unsettled middle part of the month, and then end up dry again but pretty cold. And then finally, sneaky look at November, and I've got to say, don't really agree with this forecast. This is really building high pressure out in the Atlantic here and across the UK. So that would put high pressure in here. It would give us more of a west to southwesterly flow. It would give us a dry month and probably a month where temperatures near normal, but some pretty severe overnight frosts. I'm not sure that I go with this just yet. We'll see how things develop, but that's what the Japanese is hinting at the moment for November. So plenty of information there for you. I'll leave you with that for now, but thanks again for watching weatherwebber.net. As I said at the beginning, we're kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen. By you coming back and using the site means that we can keep getting these videos produced for you and keep them free of charge. So for now, thanks for watching and keep the sun shining. Whatever you're doing, have a great day and bye for now.